ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball. ESPN's ESPN's exclusive present. ESPN's
Welcome everyone, Champ Week of the 2017 New York Life ACC Tournament in Brooklyn, New York. The sun shining on the outside and the stars shining on the inside. Already one game in the books with LaFonso Ellis and soon to be joined by Allison Williams. I'm Carl Ravitch. We get set for Clemson, 17-14 off a win yesterday against Duke, who plays their first game in the tournament today. As you take a look at the Duke bench, we look back at what happened earlier today. Miami and Syracuse, a real good game. Chance to tie it at the end for Syracuse. They miss it. Reed and Murphy, the stars for the Canes.
Kamar Murphy was absolutely terrific on this in his hometown, going for a double-double, and it was Davon Reed who got him started early with knocking down some threes. But the inside-outside attack of Miami was the difference in that game.
So Miami gets the victory, and as a result, they get North Carolina. We get North Carolina. Duke and Clemson in a moment. Louisville waits for them. The top half of that bracket, nasty, but so is the bottom with Florida State. And, of course, Notre Dame. Welcome again inside the Barclays Center. I know you've referred to it as night. It certainly feels that way now that the lights have been turned out. But when the lights come on, we expect a good matchup, probably because of the way that Clemson played yesterday, to give them a real sense of hope against Duke. And remember, they lost only by 2 earlier this year, don't they?
Yeah, Clemson's going to have to run Duke off that three-point line, Ravi. Duke knocked down 11 made threes, which ended up being the difference in that game for Clemson. They got to keep Duke out of the painted area because they attack the rim and then they kick it out for threes.
Of course, the threes for Duke have been a big story. Luke Kennard has been their superstar. Yesterday, that guy, number 5, Jaron Blossom game, was outstanding for Clemson.
Jaron Blossom game is absolutely a beast, and he does it at all 3 levels. But when you talk about Duke, no one steadier than Luke Kennard. 3 30-point games on the year. He's been Mr. Steady for Duke all year long. And for Clemson, you're talking about Jaron Blossom game, one of the most electric players in the entire ACC, can score it at all 3 levels, and he's been an absolute monster to date in this tournament, and flexing a little muscle there. I think his biceps a little nicer than mine, Rav.
Let's go over to Allison Williams. Allison?
Well, Ravi, health is such an important factor for these teams in the conference tournament when you're playing in back-to-back days. So you can imagine the concern for Clemson. And in the second half yesterday against NC State, Avery Holmes went down with an ankle injury. He left the game and did not return to action, but I'm told that was just for precautionary reasons. He received therapy after the game last night, and today he is in the starting lineup and ready to go. So it was a new injury that caused concern for Clemson, while for Duke it's been lingering injuries. Grayson Allen and Emil Jefferson both dealing with foot injuries, but I'm told they are better now than they have been. They've been able to rest since Saturday's game against UNC, and the expectation is for them to be full go, not just today, but the next 4 days.
All right, Allison, we'll keep an eye on Grayson Allen. One thing we've noticed, when the ankle acts up on him, he doesn't get a lot of elevation off of the jump shot, and it leads to flat shots that don't go in. And, of course, Emil Jefferson is so critical to what Duke does, especially on the interior when it comes to the Duke defense on that back line. Coach K, Mike Krzyzewski, how about a 57-22 mark in the ACC tournament? That's his record, second most wins all time. Last 20 years, 40-10 at the tournament. There's Brad Brownell. Yesterday, he tied Cliff Ellis for most ever wins by a Clemson coach against ACC opponents. So he did that yesterday, and today he could become the all-time Clemson leader when it comes to wins against ACC teams. But this is a tall test when you're talking about Duke and their offensive versatility.
You got to limit their easy opportunities, so you can't allow Duke to be able to get out in transition and get easy ones. You have to keep them off the backboard as well.
They need to have big games from Sidy, Djitte, and Sheldon Mitchell up front. What Brad Brownell said a few minutes ago, they're going to get some activity off of their front line. Maybe get Jefferson in some foul trouble. Duke's been a little reluctant to use Giles and Bolden. And given the 4 days and 4 games, if they keep winning, they're going to have to go deep into their bench. Stepped on the line, that's over and back.
Yeah, Jaron Blossom game there, making a mistake, not catching the ball cleanly, and just had to throw it up in the air. And one of the keys for Duke is being able to neutralize Jaron Blossom game. You're going to see a variety of guys guarding him. It was Matt Jones last time, holding him to 7 points on 3 of 12 shooting. That's going to be a huge key for Duke defensively.
Well, Frank Jackson has taken a lot of the minutes because Allen has been hurt. He starts today. Kennard fires a 3 up, and he misses it. Here's a steal and an easy layup for Jackson. Mistake number 2 for Blossomgame.
And that's one of the reasons why Frank Jackson is in the starting lineup. His energy is contagious. Does a great job on the defensive end containing the rock.
Good look at Avery Holmes there, so the ankle appears okay. He had a contest and go pick that ball up. Interior pass and a good one, and we'll get a foul at the rim on Kennard.
And folks, Frank Jackson is a dynamic guard, an explosive scorer, but he's also got tremendous instincts, and his athleticism, elite athleticism, allows him to be a phenomenal finisher in transition.
Jackson, the last couple of games, has played 33 and 32 minutes.
You just can't keep him off the floor. I mean, Duke's playing with a shorter lineup even to begin with, and you know, for him to be inserted into the starting lineup with Grayson Allen coming off the bench, again, they've needed that energy both on the offensive end and defensive ends because he does a great job of getting up and guarding.
Djitte 1 of 2. And Clemson, with the win here, could really begin to play themselves back into the ACC and now NCAA tournament conversation. Tatum had to go in and out.
It's a good look, though, coming off dribble penetration, something that you'll see often for Duke. They love to attack the elbows off the bounce.
A little loose with the ball again is Blossomgame. He's on the floor. He gets it to Djitte, and they settle down. Blossomgame a little erratic early.
Yeah, this guy's got to give him some offense, Dante Grantham.
We're going to travel on Dante Grantham.
You know what? He got the travel, but I'm happy that and pleased that he's in attack mode here early. I mentioned to you, he's been a little cautious lately, has really lost his confidence in his shot. And for Clemson to continue to advance, they need him to be aggressive on the offensive end.
That 0-7 against the RPI top 25, looking for a win against a ranked opponent. And starting out with your first 4 possessions, having 3 turnovers is not the recipe for success.
Lots of high ball screens coming from Duke today, folks.
Tough shot. Jones, he got fouled. And he'll go to the free throw line. Call that one on Shelton Mitchell.
That's usually, Clemson's pretty good at that. They usually do a great job of walling you up on your drive and not fouling. And you can't give, we talked about, this game is one of those games where you can't give Duke easy opportunities. You have to make them take tough twos over your D. Missed opportunity defensively there for Clemson.
Matt Jones, 66% free throw shooter. Seen his 3-point shot improve and improve and improve. Doesn't have a lot of rotation on it, but it goes in.
Coach K calls him the Rock for his natural leadership ability. Very steady player for the Blue Devils.
Contested shot. Jefferson did a nice job to come over and force a tough shot. Now Kennard, wide open 3. Got it. Good start for Duke.
Indeed, and we talked about that earlier, Ravi. You got to be able to get back and run Duke off that 3-point line, so it puts a lot of pressure on your transition defense. Duke doing a great job in transition there.
Djitte has Tatum on him. That jumper hard off the rim, and Jackson comes back to get the rebound. Got to be careful here early. You can go down by 9-10 points.
Got a mismatch here with Tatum. Tatum should take Avery Holmes down inside.
Emil Jefferson, not known for his offense, pushing Djitte down into the paint deep, and he misses the money.
Yeah, 100% healthy. Number 21, Emil Jefferson, usually makes that shot. I think that foot still bothering him, is keeping him from getting elevation.
Ooh, Mitchell with a crossover, and hard, he gets fouled at the rim by Emil Jefferson.
And folks, Jerron Blossomgame is going to be double, triple, quadruple teamed when he catches the basketball. The key to the game for Duke is neutralizing him. Look how many bodies are around him. Emil Jefferson doing a great job of coming over, forcing him to take a contested shot. So if Clemson's going to get him shots, they're going to have to do it on the move. They're not going to be able to straight post him down low.
5 substitutions, 3 of them for Clemson set to come in. Marquise Reed, Elijah Thomas, Gabe DeVoe.
A little bit more offense now on the floor for Clemson.
Reed will wait. Looks like he's coming in for the free throw shooter, Mitchell. Clemson Tigers in the ACC tournament 4-6 all time against the Blue Devils. Tatum all the way to the hole with a dunk. And a good screen from Jefferson too to open up a lane.
Really nice screen, but they'll look for those opportunities to isolate Jason Tatum. He's terrific in isolation situations. Beautiful move and finish there by number 0 in white. Elijah Thomas is open there. Let him go to work. Give him some room.
Awesome game. He has been very out of control early here today. Duke's been in control. They've hit from outside, and they certainly have been able to finish on the inside.
Yeah, Jason Tatum, so fundamentally sound, and what a nice screen there by Emil Jefferson. And if you let him get that close to the rim, he's a tremendous athlete. Powerful finish there from the kid from Chaminade in St. Louis.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by New York Life. With the right guidance, everyone can be good at life. And GMC, we are professional grade.
This is one of those teams, boy, up and down all year long.
We're playing our butts off. We're not slumping, and our guys are playing great.
Pull-up jumper, got it. Talk about your clutch basket.
The dynamic of what they have with Grayson Allen, Luke Kennard, Emil Jefferson, that's a team that can get to Phoenix.
This is one of those teams, boy, up and down all year long.
We're playing our butts off. We're not slumping, and our guys are playing great.
Pull-up jumper, got it. Talk about your clutch basket.
The dynamic of what they have with Grayson Allen, Luke Kennard, Emil Jefferson, that's a team that can get to Phoenix.
Well, fast start, and Grayson Allen, you see him there first on the bench. He has yet to come in. He's been injured, but he's not part of the injury story, really. Kennard and Jones, the only players to play in every game. He's used 10 different starting lineups. Coach K was out, of course, for a while. Had that team meeting at his house during his absence when Jeff Capel was there. Capel had a coach really without Emil Jefferson, so they have had to deal with a whole ton of adversity. The one consistent in all of it has been Luke Kennard. Tatum had another one go in and out. When he gets to the next level, whenever that's going to be, you're going to have to get used to these rims. There's a pull-up and a bucket Marquise Reed.
Whatever I said earlier, the importance of Marquise Reed coming in off the bench and being aggressive. He's the one guy who's great at creating his own shot. Nicely done there.
Kennard got open, he lost DeVoe, and he missed the shot.
Clemson has 4 turnovers here, so Brad Brownell was telling his guys not to force it, to be patient and run that offense. And with the pressure on the ball screen, they have to do a better job of reversing the ball quicker.
Yeah, that wasn't the very patient offense.
I was getting ready to say the same thing. That's good stuff, Allison.
All the way to the hole, tip in out of nowhere comes Emile Jefferson. And it looks like Sidy Djitte is going to come back in. Grayson Allen, Marcus Giles, Harry Giles, I should say, getting set to come in for Duke.
Yeah, Duke has just come out locked in defensively. You are not going to be able to get anything on the same side of the floor. And how you beat a Duke team is reversing the ball, and as they're closing out, looking to attack off the bounce.
Settling for jump shots. There's a good offensive rebound, and perhaps that'll get him back into the good graces. Elijah Thomas, after he, on the other end, let Emile Jefferson get in for an offensive rebound.
And those opportunities, Ravi, will be there because of how quickly and how aggressively Duke converges to the basketball.
A little curly kneel as Kennard slipped and dribbled while on the ground. Hands in there, yep. That was a reach. You could sort of see that hand extend from Elijah Thomas.
And folks, Emile Jefferson, one of the elite offensive rebounders in the ACC, and he does a great job of pursuing the basketball. Watch this. No one boxes him out, and at 6'9" with long arms, you got to be able to get a body on number 21 in white and root him out of there, because if you don't, that's exactly what happens as he climbs over the top. Nice little tip in there by Emile Jefferson.
It's amazing, too, how the temperature in the room changes when Grayson Allen, no matter where you're at, comes into the game. He elicits a reaction. Blocked there and a foul called. Offensive foul on Tatum. But how about Grayson Allen? You heard him come into the game, and he wasn't the only guy that came into the game, and yet it seemed like all eyes and energy focused on number 3.
Indeed. I love his toughness. I love his aggressiveness. And coming off the bench, I think he's embraced the role coming off the bench because it takes so much pressure off of him, because he's basically trying to carry the team on the offensive end. And now he recognizes that he's got a lot more weapons around him. And I see a fresh Grayson Allen out there on the floor this afternoon.
He's guarding Marquise Reed right now, and Reed's trying to take him. He pushes off a little bit and then throws up a brick. And Duke picks up the rebound.
Harry Giles was open down there with Marquise Reed. He should have delivered that basketball. Got 2 feet in the paint.
Giles, of course, with the multiple knee surgeries. He wears a brace on that left knee. Kennard pull up at the free throw line. He starts off cold.
They didn't miss too many. With this lineup in right now for Clemson, it's got to be number 4 in orange and Marquise Reed, number 2 in orange.
Good take that time.
How good was he yesterday?
He was great, and so was Blossom Game. And so far, Blossom Game has been off his game.
Yeah, if they're not going to move him around, he's not going to get any easy opportunities. Duke's defense is lined up to take him out of the game.
Allen with the ball, good pass, and a good catch as well. Harry Giles with the one hand.
Wherever that ball screen and roll action is there, because there's such a threat to be able to shoot it from the perimeter that they spread your defense out. Harry Giles doing a terrific job of running to the rim, and nice delivery.
Mitchell was good yesterday. He gives him 10 points a game. He had 22 against NC State yesterday. Good hedge by Giles. And the pass, sort of a no-look pass, goes out of bounds. Djitte could not control.
And folks, Grayson Allen is aggressive at attacking off the bounce, has wonderful vision coming off that ball screen, and he sees Sidy Djitte staying there too long. What a beautiful pass underneath to Harry Giles. Giles with the great hands and the finish inside.
I'll finish first. I'm not gonna finish last. I probably finish first, and because Dean would 100% finish last. I don't know if it was first.
Clemson 3 of 9 from the floor. Duke Blue Devils 5 of 12 turnovers. Fonzie, have been a big storyline so far in this one.
Yeah, you just can't turn the basketball over against Duke. Some careless turnovers because Duke's always looking to try to jump the passing lanes there. Frank Jackson doing a terrific job there. And then in the half court, watch as the basketball go inside the Blossom game. All 4 defenders sink to the level of the basketball. Nowhere to go. Now all of a sudden Duke is off to the races. And when you're turning over against Duke, they not only beat you at the rim, but they got a lot of guys that can spot up and knock down the 3. And that's Luke Kennard knocking it down there.
Grayson Allen onto the floor for the first time. Blossom game has 3 turnovers already for Clemson. This is a Duke team known for its ability to force them. They force about 12 a game.
Yes.
Convert them into about 14 points. They've converted them 4 points so far today. And that's the advantage right now they have.
Got to be really smart with the ball against this Duke team. Wide open shot here.
Allen short.
Now Clemson's got to push too now. They got some guys that can finish out in transition. They can't be content with just walking the basketball up the floor. They got to try to get some things in early transition in their secondary break as well. Because if they go against this half-court defense of Duke all night long, that's a losing cause for them. Reach in there. Jerron Blossom game draws the foul. They'll give it to 13, Matt Jones. And Ravi, look what happened there. Remember we talked about Jerron Blossom game. They're not going to be able to straight post him down in the low post. So that time they got him on a little bit of movement and an isolation at the top. That if they want to get him involved in the offense, they're going to have to continue to do it just that way. He had 22 against NC State yesterday as well, and really used his strength inside. A lot of flexing going on yesterday. A lot of flexing. Could have pulled a muscle. Matt Jones, that first meeting, though, he was on him, and he really did a good job on the Jerron Blossom game. Denying his catches, and when he did catch it, he was right there on the catch. Grantham goes baseline. They're going to get a foul on Giles as he forced him out of bounds. Ravi, that's what teams have done. They've either put Giles in ball screen situations because with him not being 100%, he doesn't move as well laterally, and they've also been able to drive him on closeouts. That's an opportunity for Clemson to be able to take advantage of. Nice. Watch out. Oh, he missed the dunk. That's the second dunk today we've seen wide open where a player has missed it. Did he get fouled? I was shielded, so I couldn't see it. What a nice read, though, by Sidy Djitte. Yeah, he grabbed it from the backside. Yeah, a little touch there on the backside. That's a good call by the official. It's right there in front of him. Did that lead to the missed dunk? No. That's just a missed one. Bang that thing off the other side of the rim. Djitte knocks down the free throw. He's an effort guy, rugged. Not as athletic as Landry Noko was, and not the defender that Noko was, but he's a little better on the offensive end to make the 15-foot jam. We saw yesterday. Loves that little hook shot over his left shoulder. Harry Giles back to the bench. He's got 2 fouls early, so maybe some pressure on Jefferson to stay on the floor. Duke's got to find a way to get Luke Kennard going here and get Grayson Allen downhill off some high ball screens. Kennard on the curl. He does the ball fake better than anybody in college basketball. Tatum picks it up. Tatum soft 3-point shot from the top of the key. Yeah, he's confident. He was frustrated after the loss at North Carolina. Coach K got on him about not being aggressive and being a finesse player instead of attacking. He's looking for it. He's hunting that shot today. Okay, double teamed. Good pass inside and good position for Blossom game, who makes his first basket. And that's how it's going to have to be, Rav. When they catch that ball in low box, Duke's not going to let them go one-on-one against their players. They're going to converge, and they have to be playmakers coming out of there. Nicely done by Sidy Djitte there.
You like Allen as the point guard? Kennard three, corner. Way off, another offensive rebound, and Tatum, who just made one, misses one. Offense feel a little different when Grayson Allen is your point guard, and he's been it most of the year.
No, I have no problem with him handling the basketball because he makes some good decisions. We saw him earlier in the ball screen situations. He was there delivering that pretty pass to Harry Giles underneath.
Yep.
But I like him when he's in attack mode, getting downhill. He's at his best when he's doing it. Nice pass.
Kick back to Holmes, three, in and out, offensive rebound, and that's good. And all of a sudden, Blossom Game has got four.
Again, not straight passing it to him, but Jerron Blossom Game using that athleticism on the move to create some offense for himself. Nicely done by number 5 in orange there. Got to get Grayson Allen going downhill.
There he goes, downhill. He kicks it, and we're going to get a blocking call. And Djitte is frustrated. In fact, the Clemson bench frustrated by that call.
Clemson doing a nice job of getting Jerron Blossom Game on the move, and Sidy Djitte doing a nice job of finding him underneath. Nice seal there on Kennard. But then if you can't get it, sometimes you have to go get it. And Jerron Blossom Game doing exactly that, using that elite athleticism to get in there for an offensive rebound putback. Nice job by number 5.
Djitte to the bench, Thomas in the game. Blossom Game and Tatum now match up. Now you have Frank Jackson running the point, Allen on the wing, Kennard gets a breather. All the way to the hole. He did a good job too to avoid Avery Holmes, who was looking to draw the offensive foul.
Yeah, they'd love to do that pinch post action to get the guards coming on and around. That weak side of Clemson's defense is going to have to be available to make them make an extra pass.
Boston Game with Allen on him is going to try to take him. Good pass, and Thomas could not convert.
Can't miss those easy opportunities against this Duke defense that's been pretty good here early.
Frank Jackson, the freshman guard, who's taken over the point guard duties for Duke. Good step through. Sets up a three for Jones. No good. Tatum couldn't get it over the rim.
Got numbers here if they push. Elijah Thomas is working down inside. They got to give him that basketball when he gets open.
Blossom Game, another turnover, his fourth, and a foul on DeVoe. Jerron Blossom Game has made some mistakes, and he just pointed to himself. My bad. Trying to make a name for themselves the same way the Statue of Liberty has established herself here in New York.
I just think New York City is a great venue for our tournament. I think the big cities are where it should be played. I think it should be played here, Washington, Atlanta. That's where the tournament should be played. I'm not going to be around that much longer to care about it, but I think that's where the value is. I think there's a huge value in playing the tournament in those places, and there's no value in playing in Greensboro. None. I just think New York City is a great venue.
We are in Brooklyn, and that, of course, is home to the Barclays Center, and for the first time, home to the ACC tournament. Never been in New York City before. Here's Syracuse coach Jim Boeheim after his loss today, talking about the location.
I just think New York City is a great venue for our tournament. I think the big cities are where it should be played. I think it should be played here, Washington, Atlanta. That's where the tournament should be played. I'm not going to be around that much longer to care about it, but I think that's where the value is. I think there's a huge value in playing the tournament in those places, and there's no value in playing in Greensboro. None.
OutQ, none. And obviously the folks in Greensboro and the real blue blood ACC folks, you know, identified the tournament with Greensboro, but it's back in Brooklyn next year. And they're supposed to go to Charlotte and then back to Greensboro. And all of that still to be determined by what happens with that House Bill 2 in North Carolina. It's just one man's opinion. Jim Boeheim likes the big cities.
Yeah, and you can tell. I mean, the reality is having it on Tobacco Road is fantastic. It gives those guys a distinct advantage from a fan perspective. So I can understand where he's coming from. I'm not sure I fully agree with it.
Duke's had a number of offensive rebounds, which has allowed them to maintain this three-point lead, and a really good move by Emil Jefferson.
And that's what Emil does for a perimeter-dominated team like Duke. He gives them some balance inside because you can give him 8 to 10 touches per game, and he's going to give you some good stuff down in the low post. Not only is he the anchor of that defense, but he also is the anchor of that offense on the interior with his decision-making when he catches the rock.
Climbing the ladder of total number of games played, wins in a Duke uniform is Emil Jefferson. And in baseball fonts, we often talk about these guys that are quote-unquote professional hitters. This dude's a professional player. He just never makes mistakes. Awesome game with the pick up and flush. But what a treat for a guy like Coach K to have Emil Jefferson, who doesn't put you in a bad spot almost ever.
Yeah, I love Emil Jefferson. This kid does so many of the intangible things for this Duke team, and he's the guy who's communicating defensively. He recognizes mismatches and takes advantage and makes good decisions when he has the rock. I have a great level of appreciation for number 21 in white.
Thomas, a frustration foul. Hey, the Big Ten's getting ready to start. Nebraska, Penn State, it kicks off, and Ohio State, Rutgers. And if we're going to get into geography, having the Big Ten tournament in Washington, D.C.
A little weird.
That's a little odd, too. Understanding Maryland is there, but that one's a little odd. 4:30, 7 p.m., the 4:30 game on ESPN2.
That Illinois-Michigan game is going to be huge because Illinois needs that win to get into the NCAA tournament. Tune in, folks.
John Beilein's Michigan Wolverines, with their backcourt play and the front court ability to stretch and shoot threes, really played themselves into the tournament with some late wins.
Will Jefferson, heart and soul of this team, rebounds, defends, covers up for a lot of the others' mistakes. And what he doesn't get a lot of credit for, I don't think people know how good of a shot blocker he is. Blocks about 2 shots per game.
So with the 2 fouls on Giles and the desire to try to get some rest for Jefferson, you see Marquise Bolden into the game. He has gone a handful of games. The last 10 really limited action, if no action sometimes. That ball short. Tatum went up for it, goes off of him.
You know what I like about Bolden, though, is as he's getting healthier, and I think he is healthy now, he brings tremendous energy coming off the bench. I thought he was kind of a low-energy guy earlier in the year, and I think part of that is he's trying to find his role and also trying to get healthy. But when I've seen him get in and spot minutes, he's been very active, especially on the defensive end. He's open right now, running the floor.
Quick ball movement, Allen ball fake and a layup, and he comes up short with it. And then he gets called for the foul.
I like the play, though, because, again, Duke's at their best when Grayson Allen, Frank Jackson, when those guys can get downhill, just didn't finish the shot. Has such a high level of expectation for himself that when he doesn't meet his own expectation, he gets frustrated, and it usually leads to poor plays, and that's exactly what happened there.
Guys, non-Duke fans feel a certain way about Grayson Allen, but when you talk to his teammates, they absolutely love him. I spoke to Luke Kennard, who has made such a big improvement from last year to this year. He's improved his scoring from 12 points a game to 20. And he says, in part, that's because of Grayson Allen, the time he spent going up against him in the summer playing against Grayson Allen. He said it helped not only my game, it helped my competitiveness and my confidence.
That's good.
How about Sidy Djitte? He has made 6 of 7 free throws today, or 5 of 6, I should say. And if he weren't doing it from the line, they wouldn't be within 3.
That's right. Duke's got to get something going downhill.
Last time he said that, Allen ended up with a layup attempt. He missed it. Kennard tries. He spins. Tough shot. Kennard can't get it to go, and we're going to go the other way. Is that going to be on Bolden or Allen? We're going to get a technical on Grayson Allen. He slammed the ball down in the corner and right away called for a technical foul.
And Ravi, that's exactly what I was talking about, is he just wants to do the right thing so badly, and getting to the offensive glass there was really good, but when you don't come up with it, you got to let it go. And his own frustration for himself not being able to come up with it puts his team in a precarious situation here.
Now, if he had caught that ball on the bounce up, would he have gotten a technical?
I don't think so, because then the referee would, although the referee was staring him straight down, so you know, you can't show up the referee. You have to find other ways to be able to get that frustration out, and that's not one of them.
It's impossible to interpret whether he was upset with the referee or more, as you said, himself. In any event, he goes to the bench having missed a couple of layups and 3 fouls. Those 2 guys right there, Giles and Allen, 5 fouls between them.
Yeah, and Ravi, I hate it making mistakes, and I had to learn how to channel the frustration with my mistake, that it wasn't hurting, that it didn't come to hurt my team, and that's the next level for Grayson Allen. Extraordinary competitor, great scorer, but he's got to learn how to control those emotions so that he doesn't hurt his team, because the team is more important than the individual player, and I'm sure he's aware of that.
No doubt about that. He's on the bench, and Blossom Game converts the free throws. And now Clemson has grabbed the lead, 23-22. That's their first lead of the game.
Yeah, they've been able to contain Duke, keep them from getting deep dribble penetration, and Luke Kennard's got to get going here.
Frank Jackson, high arcing 3, and nothing but the bottom of the net.
That shot created off a pretty curl from Luke Kennard, drew an additional defender and able to find a wide open Frank Jackson, who knocks that one down. That was great execution there by Duke.
Jackson's got 7. Blossom Game has gotten warm. He's got 8. He's got the ball now, and that's a foul on Matt Jones. So you give it a few minutes, and we got 4:20 left, but you can see how John Blossom Game has settled in after that start, where he was throwing the ball all over the country with the 4 turnovers.
Yeah, and you and I said when we were in a little timeout situation, he was just trying too hard, because I don't know if I've ever seen him be not composed when he catches the basketball down in the low box, and he was certainly that earlier. But I think a couple little buckets, couple hustle plays has allowed him to be able to settle down. For Clemson to win this game, John Blossom Game is going to need about 20 today.
Well, he's almost halfway there. This next free throw, if it goes, Clemson Tigers at the free throw line. 13 of 14, and the last 8 have all come from the stripe. There's a turnover, good hands, and a breakout. Mitchell, kickback, 3, no good, and they had the offensive rebound, and Blossom Game actually knocked it out of the hand of his teammate, Gabe DeVoe.
I think every now and then Duke's got to touch Bolden on the inside. At times he's got Sidy Djitte right behind him. And I think he can either get them a bucket or be able to make a pass to someone.
There's a steal, and DeVoe all the way in for the dunk. So having to go to the bench because of the foul troubles has caused Duke some problems. And Clemson now with a 2-point advantage.
And Bolden will learn. He's just a freshman. But when you catch the ball at that elbow area, you got to make sure you hold it up because the guards are always looking to dig that thing out. He dropped it low and they were off to the races there.
There's another steal and a turnover. Jackson, and he's going to get called for a foul. Mounting frustrations for Coach K and the Duke Blue Devils. Some silly fouls. And some of that frustration bubbled over when Grayson Allen picked up his 3rd and then picked up the technical. The ACC tournament, and the intensity is high.
They're ready. First question. In what year did Miami and Virginia Tech join the ACC? Was it in 2004, 2001, or 2008? All right, Steve? 2004. 2004, and he is correct. 1 point team. All right, question 2. Which player led the 2016 ACC tournament in total rebounds? Was it Devin Thomas? Was it
Yep. The conversation will continue on the halftime report. Back here, North Carolina and Miami meet because Syracuse loses 62-57, and Adnan may be burying the lead, although the next couple of days will determine that, whether Syracuse actually saw their NCAA tournament bubble burst. Alfonso Ellis doesn't believe that's the case, but others actually do. Allison?
Well, it was interesting watching the Duke huddle during the last time out. Coach Krzyzewski spent the majority of the time pleading his case to the officials, while the message inside the huddle to the players from assistant coaches was basically to chill out. They're a little out of sorts right now. They said you need to calm down, see everything, cut more, move more, trying to get them back on track here.
Deflected and off. It'll be Duke ball. You said to me, thanks, Allison, that they got to get Emil Jefferson back on the floor. So why? What does he do? What will he bring?
He settles them down. I mean, he's seen everything. He's lost in the first round. He's won an NCAA tournament, and so he's seen it all. He's the calming influence on this team, as well as Kennard. But as you can see, Kennard's been a little bit out of sorts here in the first half, which is a little unusual for him as well.
Kennard was on the ground there. DeVoe saw a player on the ground, went to grab it, inadvertently seemed to elbow Kennard in the head. And the former high school football quarterback in Ohio banged up a little bit.
He just lost his footing there.
Yeah, that's a foul.
Let's see if he gets tripped on the way in. Yeah, just kind of lost his footing there. Yeah, that's definitely a foul over the top, though. You can't reach over and grab.
Kennard's used to get hit like that when he's wearing shoulder pads and a helmet.
Indeed.
Tatum, great spin move. Oh, what a play by Jason Tatum.
Wow. And folks, you're looking at the most fundamental of all the elite freshmen in the nation right there, number 0 in white. That was ridiculous. You talk about a kid, I mean, he's my height. He's 6'8".
There's a steal from Jones, and just like that, Duke has tied it up. Jefferson's on the floor, and things have turned back Duke's way.
To Allison's point, the coach telling the kids to chill out while they're in the huddle has worked really well for them on the last 2 possessions.
Clemson has 29 points, and more of them are from the free throw line, 15 than from the floor. Blossom game 3, off, foul on the floor. They may have gotten Jefferson.
And folks, watch this. This move is just ridiculous. This kid is 6'8", out there doing it like some of the little guys. Started it off with a little crossover and then behind the back, and how about that? The elevation, little levitation, and the soft one off the glass. That was beautiful.
With $1:51 to go, and the second foul picked up by Jefferson. It looks like Antonio Vrankovic is going to come into the game. So they are going deep, deep with Giles 2, Allen 3, Jefferson now 2. Coach K's depth is being tested.
What he's concerned about that offensive backboard is they've not been able to defensive rebound the basketball here in the first half, which has allowed some easy second chance opportunities for Clemson.
Vrankovic hasn't logged a minute in his last 10 games.
Kennard can't find the range here early. He's 1 for 9 now. Very unusual for number 5 in white. Credit the defense at Clemson.
Mismatch for Blossom game. Mitchell launches a 3 and he gets it. 4-point advantage for Clemson.
Robbie, we talked about the importance of Mitchell being aggressive here on the offensive end for Clemson. If he can continue to attack off the bounce and knock down open threes, Clemson's got something good going on the offensive end.
Mitchell's 3, the first of the game for Clemson. Tatum doing work by himself, and he gets it to go. The Jason Tatum show has started here at the Barclays Center.
Oh my gosh. That's insane. I think they got to throw it inside the Blossom game. Give him some room now. Let him go to work.
He's got Jones on him instead. He kicks it in 3 from the corner. That one long. Vrankovic picks up the defensive rebound, and Duke will push. And a layup. Brings Duke back to a tie at 33-33. Frank Jackson.
Clemson had 3 guys back and couldn't contain Frank Jackson from getting to the rim. That transition defense has got to get better. They're hoping to win this game.
All right, quick 30-second timeout. We're tied, 10 seconds to go. Back to the Barclays Center and the ACC tournament right after this. Out here.
The 3 of 6. And folks, I talked coming into this game, Jason Tatum needed to be extraordinary on the offensive end. Missed his first few shots, but last 2 possessions, he's been in absolute attack mode, using the crossover dribble, drawing a little contact at the rim. And he's really starting to assert himself, one of the best players in the country at one-on-one basketball because of his ability to change speeds and change direction. Extraordinary at 6'8".
Played 19 minutes, so is Luke Kennard, 17 for Jones and Jackson. They've spread it out the rest of the way with the fouls. Last shot coming up for Blossom game, and they got to get him for a walk. Gives it back to Duke with 2.7 to go.
Yeah, the idea coming out of the timeout was for Sheldon Mitchell to get to the middle and make a play. Ran right into Jerron Blossom game.
All right, let him discuss it in the huddle. We'll be back 30 seconds from now. Hey, weeknights, the new 6 o'clock Sports Center on ESPN. Michael Smith, Jamel Hill. They got their own brand of style and personality. A lot focused tonight on the NFL, and word about Tony Romo and a decision the Cowboys apparently are on the verge of making. The 6, available streaming live on the ESPN app and watch ESPN. So 2:07 to go. Grayson Allen with 3 fouls and no points in. And they will try to get it in and get a 3-point shot from one of the guys. All of them capable of shooting a 3 right now.
Can't allow the ball in the front court.
Stepping out of bounds, now 0.8. So neither team able to execute down the stretch.
A lot of teams run what they call victory, and typically you run a little screen away from the basketball, curling a guy to the strong side and try to hit him while he's on the run to give him a chance to knock that shot down. Jason Tatum's got to take that near side pass away.
He'll get a shot. Thomas, an air ball. They were a lot better from the free throw line than they were from the field. 16 of 18 from the free throw line, Clemson. 8 of 21 from the floor. And they outscore them at the free throw line significantly. Duke only went 4 times. Allison with the coach at Clemson.
Coach Brownell, what did you see from Blossom game after the first 5 or 6 minutes or so?
Well, I think he was a little tight early, and Duke's done a good job. They've kind of come with a soft double. We've gotten it to the high post a few times, which we wanted to do. I think he's just got to relax and not try to make a play every time he catches it. He wants to win so badly. We just got to relax and let some of the game come to him.
And then defensively, what are some things you need to shore up in the second half?
You know, I think we've done a good job. I think there's a couple closeouts and penetration that has beat us. We've done a pretty good job of contesting threes. They have made a few, but, you know, they're going to do that. I think if we can continue to rebound the ball, we're going to have a chance.
Brad, thank you.
Thank you.
Looking for a win over a ranked opponent. That's the story for Clemson. Duke and Jason Tatum go to the locker room tied 33-33. It has not been a smooth first half for the Blue Devils. Our halftime report guaranteed to be smooth. Adnan, Seth, and Jay Williams.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by New York Life. With the right guidance, everyone can be good at life.
We're back. The championship week and the 2017 New York Life ACC tournament. We're in New York City. Grayson Allen looking for the peace and quiet of Durham right now. Picked up his 4th technical foul this season. Jason Tatum playing like a pro in an NBA arena. Drawing some contact and putting up some serious points. 9 of them in the first half on 4 of 7 shooting. And we got ourselves a 33-33 game. Jaron Blossom game has been the leader for Clemson, although he has turned the ball over 5 times. And once again, joined by LaFonso Ellis, Allison Williams in a moment. And we're starting from scratch here at 33-33.
Indeed. The story for Clemson in the first half is their ability to get to the foul line. Got Duke in a lot of foul trouble. Jaron Blossom game started, turned that basketball over, had 4 turnovers there early, but then settled down. And folks, when you're being doubled and triple teamed in the low post, as Duke did even against me when I was in college, you have to be patient. He was trying to make too much happen. You throw one of those lob passes over the top, now Duke is off to the races in transition. But then, as a player, if you're not getting touches, you got to go get it. And Jaron Blossom game did exactly that. Couple early layups really got him going here in the first half. He's engaged and ready to go. And they're going to need a huge half for him in the second half if they're hoping to beat the Blue Devils.
Allison?
Have to find a way to play defense without fouling. That's what associate head coach for Duke, Jeff Capel, told me at the half. He said, I can't remember ever seeing a game like this where an opponent, or any team, either one of us, gets to the free throw lines 18 times in one half. So they've got to be smarter defensively and adjust to how this game is being called. Of course, one of those fouls was the technical on Grayson Allen, and the message to him was simple. You can't have that. We know you're frustrated, but all eyes are on you. You've got to be smarter.
2-1 on the turnover leads to a layup and a good start for Clemson out of the gate. 16 of 18 to Allison's point. Clemson went from the free throw line. 16 of 18, Duke 4 of 4.
Duke can win this game without Luke Kennard getting engaged in the offense. Jason Tatum was magnificent in the first half, but Luke Kennard's your leading scorer, 20 points per game. What was he, 1 of 9?
1 of 9
in
from
the first
field.
half? Yeah, he's got to get it going here in the second half.
3-pointer, that's off. Would have been a big one for Clemson coming out of the gate, but they miss it. And Duke has the ball. Yep, Kennard 1 of 9 Allen, when he was in the game, wasn't able to do anything. Kennard, though, starts out by making his first shot. Allen quietly went 0 for 2 in the first half.
That's exactly what they need from Luke Kennard. Continue to be aggressive. He's such a good shooter. He's got to continue to attack off the bounce.
Kennard has 5 points right now. We just started the second half. If they're going to win, how many points does he have to have?
I think he's got to give his normal 20.
He and Tatum running out. And Kennard, do we go to 8? Yeah, we do, real quick. Knocks down a 3.
You know what a smart play by Jason Tatum. Early in the year, he would have tried to shoot that basketball, but that's where his maturity has come, recognizing the right play to make, and what a nice play to get his teammate continually going here on the offensive end.
That came off of a missed layup. Mitchell had it, and he just left it short.
Yeah, I think Mitchell's got to start getting downhill and trying to get Jerron Blossom game some touches here.
Djitte will follow, and he almost had it picked off. They'll get the foul on Tatum.
And folks, we talked about, in order for Duke to win this game, Luke Kennard had to get going. He aggressively made a little fake to his right, got to his left, knocked down an open J there, and then in transition, very unselfish play by Jason Tatum to allow the sniper to be able to knock down 1 from 3.
Blossom game got stuck in the key. And a wild shot from Reed. You can see Clemson's, one of the messages was, let's continue to try to draw contact and get more fouls. Tatum straightaway 3, no.
Got to be able to change sides, though. Those early three-point shots for Duke, not what Coach K wants.
Mitchell can't spin it in, but he'll get the foul. And that's on Frank Jackson. He picks up his second. So nearly every Duke player that's on the floor has 2 fouls, multiple fouls.
Robert, I like what Clemson is doing. Yesterday when we watched them play, we talked about their need to be able to push on missed shots and on turnovers and get out, and they've done exactly that. And when they've been able to do it, they've been able to either score and or get fouled.
Right. Kennard, the only one with 1 for Duke. Tatum, Jackson, Jefferson, all multiple fouls. And that guy, Grayson Allen's got 3. Matt Jones with 2 personals. They call it a free throw line for a reason.
Yeah. They've converted nicely today. Clemson, the team that shoots about 72% from the foul line. They've been really good there today.
Kennard, you talk about downhill. He was going downhill. Watch out, Tatum. Good dish to Jefferson, who lays it up and in.
Now they got to be able to get some stops.
3-way short. Now they're pushing again. Tatum and Kennard worked the last time.
Ooh, mismatch down there. Got to give it to him. Not space the floor and let him go to work. Too much size.
Jason Tatum having himself a terrific second half.
It's the one thing I love about Coach K and his NBA experience coaching the Olympic teams is if they see a mismatch out there on the floor, they take advantage of it right away. No time wasted. I'd like to see that a lot more in college basketball.
Thomas goes, tries to get Jefferson to foul him, and he loses it. And another run out for Duke. Kennard, Jackson. Oh, he got it to go, and no travel.
Initially, I thought they were going to call travel, but he didn't have possession of the basketball.
How about that play by Jackson? Those fast breaks have led to the largest lead of the day for Duke. They're up 44-37.
Duke doing a great job after missed shots, getting out of transition. How about the awareness by Frank Jackson to be able to get a little bit of control of that basketball and have it roll in?
Come on.
Come on.
We're at the Barclays Center on the day that Jim Boeheim said he'd like to see it in the big cities all the time. That Greensboro is not a place he wants to go back to. We look back on the ACC tournament history. Nobody's won more titles than Duke, although Carolina, the favorite this year, could tie them with a win. NC State with 10. There are your 6 different winners over the last 6 years. And of course, Carolina trying to repeat. Think about teams that win the ACC tournament, then go on to win the NCAA championship. 2010, that's the last time that happened with the Duke Blue Devils. They got themselves a 7-point lead, Fonz.
Yes, it's amazing when you think of, at least when I think of the ACC, I think of Duke, I think of Carolina. You would think they would have dominated the ACC tournaments, but a lot of diversity there.
Duke's done a great job defending and not getting fouls called. And they've used the fast break and a hot Luke Kennard. He just misses a long 3 there.
He gets that thing out of his hand quickly, doesn't he?
Great move, Mitchell to the hole. He loses it. It's almost as if Clemson is looking for the fouls versus trying to finish the basket.
Good observation.
Brad Brownell frustrated. Coach K sees his team with their largest lead of the game. Brooklyn, New York Life, ACC 2017 tournament, and Clemson and Duke. Well, they were 33-33 at one point, now 44-37.
On the afternoon where Luke Kennard has struggled, Jason Tatum has loomed large. His ability to make plays off the bounce and knock down perimeter jump shots. One of the better isolation players in all the nation. He's been absolutely brilliant. Catching mismatches down in the low post, and he's a terrific scorer. 11 points in this game. I'm from the Mississippi River device, East St. Louis, Illinois, where I'm from St. Louis, Missouri, where he's from. I typically don't like guys from St. Louis, but I like Jason Tatum.
Well, you got to like Frank Jackson, too, as he draws the foul and the bucket, and all of a sudden you're looking at a 9-point deficit.
Their energy that Frank Jackson brings to the game, again, is contagious with this Duke team. And if you get any confusion on your ball screen coverage, he's explosive enough to attack the gap and get to the rim. That was a great read there by Frank.
This is the free throw, so not a double-digit deficit. But Clemson's been a little sloppy here to start the second half.
Too many turnovers, Rav. 11 turnovers in this game that have yielded 10 points off turnovers.
Awesome game. We're going to call a charge, and right in front of Brad Brownell. He didn't like that.
Matt Jones bounced up off the floor and kind of gave that sheepish little grin, too. I don't think he agreed with it either. Let's take a look here. I don't know about that one, partner. I think that's a no call.
6 turnovers for Blossom Game. That one won't go. They got a run out, but they don't see Blossom Game, who is way ahead of the field.
And Mitchell's got to get it going himself, because his ability to put pressure on that defense with the push will create some opportunities for himself and try to get Blossom Game some opportunities offensively.
Mitchell had 22 points yesterday in that game against NC State. DeVoe pulls up. That's a long rebound and easily corralled by Tatum.
Mismatch here. They'll clear the floor.
Ooh, got it! Jason Tatum continuing to put on a show.
I'm telling you, folks, I've watched this kid all year long. He's the most offensively gifted of any freshman in all the country. Look at the quick spin there, and his ability to recognize mismatches and make a quick move to the basket, extraordinary. Watch the high degree of difficulty here. He practically wrapped that around Sidy Djitte. My goodness, that was sweet.
How about the wingspan to be able to get that ball up? They've on an 11-0 run and now lead by 12, 49-37.
Ravi, Clemson can't win this game without Shelton Mitchell, number 4 here in orange. He and Blossom Game have to carry this team on the offensive end.
That's a big three. DeVoe calms the waters a little bit for Clemson. Now they'll need a defensive stop or two.
34% from the three-point line. He was 0 for 3 the last time these two teams played, so any additional offense they can get from him and Marquise Reed is a bonus. It's a mismatch here. They'll spread the floor and allow him to go to work.
He stops. Djitte was busy clapping defensively. And Tatum a rare miss.
Blossom Game's open. Give it to him.
He's got Kennard on him. He steps into the lane and makes the jumper.
I love what Jerron Blossom Game did there. Got deep post position, and Luke Kennard tried to push him off the lane, but he's right on the lane, which allows him to wheel into the lane with that sweet little hook shot he's got. Stay right with him. Jason Tatum has been really good throughout the course of this game.
Matt Jones, he has a hole. He stepped into it. Instead, kicks to Tatum. Good, great pass. They found each other twice, and Tatum's doing it all.
Caught the weak side staring at the basketball, and that's exactly what you should do. Cut behind, and what a beautiful delivery underneath.
Mitchell, open three, got it.
It's got to be Mitchell. It's got to be Mitchell and Blossom Game, the balance of this game here in the second half. But they got to be able to get some stops. They may have to run someone at Jason Tatum because he's got it going here.
They have 26 of the team's 45. Is Tatum getting into that category where you can carry a team all the way to a championship?
Oh, he's special.
Reed will do it.
That's too early of a shot, Ravi. They got to get that ball on the move. And again, Mitchell and Blossom Game need to touch the basketball every time down the floor.
Marquise Reed, a 43% three-point field goal shooter, so he is comfortable out there. Well, Tatum, the facilitator.
Jason Tatum can do just about everything offensively out there on the floor. He's shown his offensive dominance and his ability to score. How about the sweet pass, backdoor Matt Jones, the recipient here, and a beautiful finish around the rim. Jason Tatum impacting every aspect of this game.
Double bye for the teams that finished in the top 4, so the top 4 seeds not in action until Thursday. Number 1 seed North Carolina will be on the floor with Justin Jackson and Leonard Hamilton's Florida State Seminoles, the 2 seed. Notre Dame, Mike Bray's Fighting Irish and their experience, the 3 seed. And the Louisville Cardinals with Pitino and the great Donovan Mitchell as the number 4 seed, all in action tomorrow. Meantime, the New York Life ACC tournament bracket is broken down this way. Miami advances. Look forward to seeing the Virginia-Pittsburgh game tonight at 9. Virginia Tech and Wake Forest at 7. There's Florida State and Notre Dame await the winners of those games. Louisville gets the winner of this one, and right now it is Duke on top thanks to Jason Tatum, who's been outstanding in the second half.
That's move.
Luke Kennard does it as well as anybody when he gets the ball in the paint. 53-45.
So under control when he catches the basketball in the paint, has excellent pivots. And all those little, he can shoot it righty or lefty, because folks, he shoots it left-handed, but he's actually a righty.
Right.
And everything else he did. When he was a quarterback, he actually threw the ball with his right hand. That's extraordinary.
Boston game too hard, and it's off the window. Can you do that?
What?
Throw the football with the opposite hand?
I could brush my teeth with my left hand. That's about it.
That's impressive, too. You got one of those electric toothbrushes, so you just turn it on, or you actually manual the whole thing?
Oh!
Look at Emile with the ball fake.
Wow, that was pretty. I threw away the old toothbrush, man. I've gone to the electric. I've gone to the battery operated. My wife sucked me in.
10-point lead for the Blue Devils. Long 3 and an ill-advised shot for DeVoe, and you can see Brad Brownell in the background, sort of a questioning, what was that?
Quick shots against this Duke team will kill you.
Allen with 3 fouls, came back into the game at the last break.
Mismatch inside, Tatum will get it.
He throws bullet passes.
Better have your hands ready.
Allen penetrates, lefty, no good. I wonder what the statistics say about Luke Kennard and how many shots of his get blocked. It's got to be like none. I mean, his ball fakes and head fakes allow you never to have a shot be blocked.
And he's great at getting angles as Blossom Game makes another smart play out of the double team on the post. He's got to touch the basketball every time down the floor.
Kennard's in the zone. They're up by 10. He's moving towards that magical 20-point mark that you were talking about as we are under 10.
That's one of those that makes you go, uh-oh, when number 5 starts to feel it.
Started right out of the jump street in the second half. Not the shot the Clemson Tigers wanted from Djitte. In fact, the last couple of shots have been ill-advised.
Another possession down the floor. The Blossom Game didn't touch the basketball, ended up in a poor result. He's got to touch the rock every time down the floor. Did he just cross him over?
He did. He gets his own rebound. Now they got a chance for a 3, and it's good. Frank Jackson from the corner. 13-point lead. And Clemson calls a timeout. Remember the story in the first half, everybody, were those free throw shots. They had 18 of them in the first half. They've got 2 free throws in the second half.
Yeah, Duke's absolutely on a roll right now offensively. What a beautiful move and pivot there by Jefferson. And now Jackson, off of a dribble penetration on the inside, kicks it open for a Jackson 3, and he's been terrific today as well. I think he's around 14 points now in the game.
16 on 7 of 9 shooting.
Yeah. And that's the one thing, when I talked to the Clemson coaches before the game, they were concerned about middle penetration. They did a really nice job in the first half of limiting it. Here in the second half, that pinch post action, which is throwing it to the elbows, Duke has been able to get into the lane at will, and Clemson has been punished by it.
Well, the Blue Devils are feeling pretty good about themselves. This is going to be a challenge for them to get through the ACC tournament. They're going to be in the NCAA tournament, and there's a guy, the great Grant Hill, who won a couple of NCAA championships with the Blue Devils back in '91 and '92. He, of course, played for a handful of teams in the NBA, and tonight, speaking of the NBA, That's a pretty good player there. David Robinson, the Admiral, with Danny Ainge of the Celtics. His Celtics will be playing the Warriors. 10:30 Eastern time tonight. Pistons and Pacers kick things off. It starts at 7 with the NBA countdown. It streams live on Watch ESPN and the ESPN app. Another way to say it, you got NBA on ESPN, college basketball tournament here on ESPN2.
Nice. And folks, if you don't know much about Grant Hill, during our time in the NBA together, he was the second best three-man in the league, only to Scottie Pippen. He was extraordinary.
It's amazing how Jefferson and everyone else could avoid fouls. Giles comes in and within 4 seconds just picks up another foul.
Again, folks, he's missed 15 months of basketball. It's going to take him a while to first get back 100% healthy and then allow his instincts to start to take over. Oftentimes when he picks up those fouls, he's just out of position, but make no mistake about it, if he can get back to 100%, Harry Giles is going to be an extraordinary player.
Anyone who has ever seen Harry Giles when healthy knows that he is about as good as any player that has come out of high school. And obviously the injuries have really curtailed him. Because of that, does he come back to college next year?
Well, I think it depends on where they're going to take him in the draft. If he can be guaranteed as a first-round pick, I think he should go. The money's just too good right now, and I think he'll get extraordinary care there. And basketball and building his body will be his #1 priority. And he'll be able to do it with a singular focus. So all that saying, I think he should go.
Dangerous time for Clemson here, Fonz. They've got to be able to stop Duke, and they do there. And then they throw it away, and a layup and dunk for Tatum.
Wow. And that's kind of been, that's how it's been here in the second half for Clemson. Just when they're able to get a stop, they're not able to come up with the possession, and it leads to, we've seen it lead to an open three, and now a dunk there for Duke. But again, this guy, #4 in Blossom game, have to touch the basketball every time down the floor. And they should be the two guys taking the shots.
Again on Giles, working deep against him. Shot no good, and that one is going to go against Clemson. Call that foul on Elijah Thomas.
You got to love the hustle and the grit by this Clemson team, doing a great job of tracking down the basketball. Gabe DeVoe, unfortunately, throwing it to the wrong guy, and this guy, 0 and white. Jason Tatum's been hot.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by New York Life. With the right guidance, everyone can be good at life.
And 16, 32. Welcome back, everyone, to the Barclays Center. Duke 62, Clemson 49. Usually you like to say, hey, the freshmen, they're just going to get better and better as they stay. They may not have these guys around, but boy, Tatum and Jackson outstanding.
Tatum doing things like this, folks. Look at this. If he goes up on the strong side of the basket, that is a block, but he uses the rim to protect from the defender, lays that one in off the glass. What a beautiful move there by Tatum. And then he's impacted the game at every level, scoring, passing, loose balls, and a beautiful pass underneath there. Matt Jones, the recipient on that play. And how about the two freshmen? On a night where Luke Kennard has struggled at times shooting a rock, it's been the freshmen combining for 32 points for the Blue Devils tonight.
Tatum on his average, he scores 16 a game. Jackson 6 ahead of his average, he's at 10. Allison?
And Tatum has just gotten better and better as this season has gone on. Remember, guys, he missed the first 8 games of the season, and that's tough for any player, but especially a freshman. And he admitted the first stretch of ACC play, it was hard to find a rhythm and adjust to the physicality of play coming off that injury. He said, I had to learn how to score in the college game on a nightly basis when I'm going up against guys that can really defend. So he put in a lot of work to get open, work on getting open, and to get his shot off quicker, and certainly paying off.
Allen misses the 3. For a while, watching all the college basketball this year, I thought that perhaps Kansas's Josh Jackson had made the biggest advancement as a freshman. And it's not even close, I don't think, between how far Tatum has come from the start to where he is now than anybody else.
Yeah, Tatum's more was, see, he already had the skill. For him, it was more the types of decisions he was making, and he was shooting it a little bit too much. Now, all of a sudden, he's matured to that next level where he's become a complete playmaker. And so a little bit different stratosphere there. I have Jason Tatum kind of way up there, whereas Josh Jackson is a good player. This kid here is elite.
Trying to wrap around pass there, and he threw it away. So a chance to get within 10 right now for Clemson. Got an easy shot last time down. Here we go again. And Jefferson picks up his 4th foul.
Love it. And this is exactly, Ravi, what we've been asking for. Again, Sheldon Mitchell, number 4 in orange, has to touch it every time down the floor, as does Blossom Game. Interesting that it would be him making the pass to Blossom Game on the interior, going up using that strong body, drawing a little contact there and the ability to finish. Those two guys have to carry the offense for Clemson, the balance of this game, if they have any chance of beating the Blue Devils.
Only a 3rd on Jefferson. There was an earlier one that they changed. It's the 3rd foul on Emil Jefferson. But an 8-point ball game.
Make Duke take contested 2s.
You're going to call it on the floor. Reed got his hands right in there, and he picks up his 2nd. And I think we're so quick to judge, especially with these young kids. I mean, the one thing that you noticed about Syracuse today, you had a 24-year-old on the floor, a 23-year-old, and those 5th-year guys. And we're so quick to judge the one-and-done guys, and they're still 17, 18 years old.
Yeah.
And it's amazing to see how they can mature over the course of a season.
Yeah.
Mitchell went into traffic, and he really had nowhere to go with it.
Yeah, and Jason Tatum's the poster boy for your point there.
Absolutely.
Josh Jackson as well. I mean, because remember early on, he was kind of trying to do too much, and then all of a sudden he settled down and went from shooting in the 20s from the 3-point line to nice pass underneath there. That was pretty. To shooting almost 40% from the 3-point line there. You got to allow these kids an opportunity to mature.
Miles Bridges, Michigan State.
That's great, yes.
Learning curves. Everybody's a little different. Not everybody on the same trajectory.
They'll go to Tatum here. They drew that mismatch off the ball screen.
Boy, Frank Jackson can't get it to go. Emil Jefferson working hard. Tatum comes up with it. And then there's fouls on Jason Tatum.
Brad, you know the thing that's a little disconcerting too? Brad Brownell's teams are always tough and usually quicker to the basketball. Duke's just quicker to the basketball now on all those 50-50s. I can't even think of the last time Clemson was able to come up with one.
Good point.
Folks, watch this basketball tipped out here. And there's a couple guys who could have gotten to that basketball before Jason Tatum did, but Jason Tatum wanted it a little bit more, and he came up with the possession. Clemson's got to get those 50-50 balls to get back in this game. Nice shot fake there.
Well, that's a travel.
Even in Europe, man.
He held his ground on the ball fake, and like, well, that worked. I'll just keep going.
I'm telling you, man, there's something about this NBA floor, bro. Extra steps. Nice pass.
It would have been a nice pass. It just didn't get through.
Yeah.
Another turnover and a costly one as Clemson continues to shoot themselves in the foot.
Yes.
Jackson just ran headlong into a wall known as Elijah Thomas.
Elijah Thomas is going, what? I was just standing there. Tell you what, Josh Jackson, I mean, Frank Jackson, twists his ankle a little bit too coming on that play. Let's see, Elijah Thomas, is he? Nope, he didn't get set, so that's a good call by the official. But you can tell by his reaction, he was like, what? I was just standing there.
Called the foul on Avery Holmes, even though it was Thomas that got crunched. You're right about that ankle roll, though.
Yeah.
Even before there was contact, you watch Frank Jackson's left ankle. He rolled it. Lucky he didn't do more damage.
Yeah, he's such a tough kid. The offense flows so much better when he's in the game because he's constantly attacking. He's been shooting it well, Ravi. Even coming to this game, he was 7 of 12 from 3 over his last 3 games and averaging 18 points per game over that stretch. He's been playing really well for Duke.
He's got 18 points today. And the lead stays at 10. Frustrating foul, and that will in fact be Jefferson's 4th foul.
I've been really impressed with Elijah Thomas as we've watched him the last 2 days. He does a great job of when that basketball reverses, he ducks in hard and makes himself big down on low post. I feel like the guards don't do a good enough job of getting the ball more quickly on the post to allow him to be effective.
Ooh. Good move by Blossomgame, 10 points, now 8. You leave Jefferson with 4 fouls in the game?
No, I think you got to get him out of there. The problem is I know Coach K is thinking what we thought earlier is when he went out of the game, all of a sudden Clemson went on that run because he's a steadying influence on this Duke team.
Mac Jones launches a 3, short. Kennard picks it up, and he makes the layup. Offensive rebound, second chance points have really helped Duke in the second half.
Another 50-50 ball that Clemson didn't come up with.
Mitchell 3, good.
See, I think he's got to be more aggressive, Randy, offensively. He and Blossomgame can absolutely put it in the cup. Those 2 guys got to be aggressive here down the stretch.
Neil Jefferson on the floor with 4 fouls for Duke. Kennard's 3, no good. And we'll keep it here with Jefferson ending up on the floor. Looks like they're going to get that call on Thomas.
Elijah Thomas has that facial expression that said, what did I have to do to get a foul called against them? That's 2 in a row on me.
We've had a lot of fouls called against them tonight.
Yes. I know how you feel there, big fella.
4 fouls for Thomas.
There's some of those good guys. I mean, all the kids are great, but there's some of those guys who are just really good dudes, man, and it pains you to see those guys get injured and out, and Emil Jefferson's one of those guys, man. Such a classy kid, and he was averaging a double-double when he went out last year, and I got a chance to see him almost within a week of that, and your heart just drops, man, because this dude has been kind of the poster boy for college basketball, a great ambassador, not for only for Duke, but for the game itself. It's good to see him back out on the floor.
Misses the free throw, so he'll stay on the floor. Giles set to come in. See if they try to pound that ball down low again and pick up a 5th foul. Mitchell fadeaway, tough shot. No foul called and no box out either. 6-point game.
Hanging around with tough hustle plays here. Blossomgame and Mitchell have carried them, and Elijah Thomas doing a nice job on the offensive glass there. Jason Tatum's got to get back to being aggressive.
Making it hard to get it to somebody they want to get it to. It's now Tatum with 5. He'll launch. No good, in the box out by Clemson. Chance to cut it down to 4, if not 3. Foul. Doesn't go, but they're going to get Kennard, and he's the one guy that has stayed out of foul trouble. We got 3:19 on the clock, Fonzie. We got ourselves a 6-point game, and Clemson going to the line.
Yeah, it's been all Duke here in the second half. They've been the quicker to the basketball in this game. Luke Kennard started to knock down some shots, but Jason Tatum has been extraordinary tonight, this afternoon.
Tonight at the ACC tournament.
Allen gets it to the goal!
Collins.
That's just ridiculous.
Perez, an enormous 3.
Artist going all the way.
It's Virginia Tech, Wake Forest, and Virginia Pittsburgh tonight. Tonight at the ACC tournament.
Allen gets it to the goal!
Collins.
That's just ridiculous.
Perez, an enormous 3.
Artist going all the way.
It's Virginia Tech, Wake Forest, and Virginia Pittsburgh tonight.
Danny Manning, Wake Forest, one of the best players in college basketball. John Collins, as they get set for a showdown at 7 Eastern time on ESPN2 against Virginia Tech. And Pittsburgh using their offense. They got a showdown with Virginia at 9.
I think it's going to be interesting to see how Virginia Tech covers John Collins, because he's so patient when he catches the ball down in the post.
Yep.
We saw him yesterday, frustrated early, but he was phenomenal in the second half with his decision-making against the double team. We got ourselves a 4-point game here. Clemson battling their way back in.
Duke on a little cold, one of their last 6 from the field. And again, Emil Jefferson on the floor with 4 fouls. Grayson Allen on the bench. Frank Jackson getting the bulk of the minutes. Allen also in foul trouble. Jason Tatum set to go one-on-one. He blows by. There's a block from the backside, and out of bounds. They'll give it to Clemson.
It's a really nice move by Jason Tatum, but I love how Elijah Thomas held his ground, going straight up, forcing him to take a tough shot and blocking it. Nicely done by Elijah Thomas defensively.
And Brad Brown now during that last timeout told his guys the pressure's on Duke to make shots.
There's a shot, now reflexing as Reed goes to the basket with a chance to pull Clemson within one.
Well, we talked about Clemson needing their two guys, particularly Mitchell and Blossom game, to be able to carry them on the offensive end, but this is exactly what Marquise Reed does. He's terrific coming off the bench and giving them some energy because he's phenomenal at attacking off the bounce.
And Coach Brownell also reminded his team that back in 2014 in the ACC tournament, they were down 7 late to Duke, and they rallied to almost when the game ended up losing by 1. He's like, you've been in this position before. You can fight your way back in this game, but you have to make them make contested shots, and you cannot help them out with fouls.
Good stuff, Allison.
Great move by Kennard. Again, nobody better at the ball fake, head fake as he gets it to go. And the lead goes back to 3. Clemson has really done a job with Jefferson now 4 fouls driving. They had been on a 12-3 run since Jefferson had picked up his 4th foul. Now 12-5. And a kick on Kennard.
And folks, especially for you kids watching at home, watch Kennard. When he makes his move, watch how low his hips stay on his shots there, and that allows him to spring into a shot once the defender goes by. He's one of the best in the nation at doing that.
Finished behind Colson and Collins and Justin Jackson as player of the year in the ACC conference. It's a stunner to me. He's carried and been the most dependable on Duke.
Yeah, I thought he should have been second to Bonzie Colson. Nice
Great pass down low. No, missed on the layup.
Wow.
Thomas had a bunny and he threw it hard off the window.
Got to be smart and not foul here.
Still plenty of time. 2 minutes on the clock. There's the foul, and Thomas, a couple of mistakes. Missed the layup and gets that foul.
And folks, if you want to win the game, you got to make these shots when you're at point blank range, and Elijah Thomas knows it. Watch this, folks. He catches that thing 2 feet in the paint. No one there. You've got to put that one in and maybe dunk that basketball inside. There may have been a little light contact there.
He ended up shooting with his left hand. Did you see that?
Yeah, he's left-handed.
He had an easy bunny. Drop it in.
Yeah.
Went to the left and got too much on it. Now he's fouled out of the game.
Come back to the other end and compounds it with the foul. That's a great point, Ralph.
Clemson had a long way to go to qualify for the NCAA tournament, but certainly a win over a top 10 team would have moved them perhaps from the next 4 out to the first 4 out, with another chance against Carolina to play themselves in.
Now here's what's important for Clemson, though. They can't allow that missed opportunity to take them mentally out of this game. He makes these 2 free throws here. They got to go down the opposite end, execute, and get a good shot.
Yeah, you got to remember, there's not 15 seconds left. There's a minute 51.
Nice. Well, I know that feeling, Elijah Thomas. I've missed some point-blank range, too. Had an opportunity to seal the deal against that great Lakers team with Shaquille O'Neal and Kobe Bryant. Went down the lane, didn't think I had enough time, so I rolled it instead of dunked it. Rolled it off the back of the rim. We lose by 1. It's a terrible feeling.
He's wearing it right now. So Jackson make the 2 free throws, and he now has 20 points in the game. He and Kennard 20 and 18. Tatum 16. You said it. I asked you at the start of the second half, how many is he going to need for them to win? You said 20, and he is knocking on the door.
Boy, he's so patient. And even the great Dale Ellis taught me, when you have a bad shooting game in the first half, just zero it out. And you're 0-0 to start in the second half. He's come out with that kind of mindset. He's been able to get some early, quick looks at the basket. And now all of a sudden, he's got you going. He's one of the best shot fake artists in the country. So crafty when he catches the basketball near the rim. Luke Kennard's got it going here in the second half.
7 of 10 from the floor. Fonzie 15 second half points and 18 in the game. Chance here to sort of survive if they can. All the foul trouble they got into between Jefferson, who now has 4, Allen, who barely played, picked up 3, technical. They've been able to sort of survive here, knowing what comes next would be a showdown with one of the best teams in the country. But boy, let's focus on the moment here. Last 151. What does Duke need to do to make sure that happens?
Yeah, Duke has to make sure that they contain dribble drive of Clemson and make those guys take contested twos over the top while containing in transition. For Clemson, they got to be aware of where Luke Kennard is on the floor. And with Jason Tatum, they got to remember, in his isolation situations, he's 6'8", so you got to bring a taller guy at him if you're going to bring someone there. If they can take care of those two things, they may be able to get a win here against the Blue Devils.
Today's Djitte back in the game with the fouling out of Elijah Thomas. A big body now on the bench for Clemson. Blossom game goes to the hole, throws it up high. There's Djitte, lays it back up as the area under the basket vacated by Jefferson, who went for the block.
Yeah, and that's what you should do, is when you see your man go and double team, you should get double teamed. You should run right in front of the rim. That was a smart decision by Sidy Djitte.
Djitte has 2 fouls. He's wearing 50 down low. Kennard baseline, tough shot. Got it! Luke Kennard's got 20. And how clutch has he been? 75-70. Adnan out. Chris Hassel now in the studio. Chris? Hi, Chris. Thank you. The Michigan airplane, by the way, Fonzie, the Michigan Wolverine airplane, they were taking off and there were high winds. They put the brakes on, skidded off the runway. Wow. Plane was pretty banged up. Nobody seriously hurt at all for the Michigan team, and now they're trying to figure out some alternative travel plans. As one of the members of the Michigan staff texted Andy Katz, we're just grateful we didn't get in the air.
Wow, that's great news.
Clemson last 5 losses, and this has been a story for Brownell. All those close games. In fact, they have 9 losses by 6 points or less. Wow. I saw the list of them there, 4 of them by 2 points.
Reed, Mitchell, Blossom game 2, 4, and 5 respectively. Have to get it done on the offensive end here for Clemson.
Tough shot, no good. Djitte battles. Looked like Jefferson slapped it out of bounds.
Yeah, they'll review that one. They'll take a look.
So with 55 to go, they will review. Again, it looked like Jefferson slapped at it. The question was, did it hit another hand or finger on the way out of bounds?
And folks, they're allowed to go to the monitor under 2 minutes here in the second half. Just want to make sure you get it right. I love that they've given them that freedom. Let's take a look here. Emil Jefferson off his left hand. Pretty clear here.
You know, one of the conversations around college basketball, as you watch that go off the hand of Jefferson, has been the job security of somebody like Brad Brownell. Now, we just gave you the resume of these close losses.
Sure.
And look, this is a college that just won the National Football Championship.
Right.
Their standards there are pretty high. What would your assessment of Brad's job be?
I think Brad's done an extraordinary job. Again, this group here, there's probably, what, 6 possessions away from being a 500 team in the ACC. So if I'm the person in charge over there, the AD, I wouldn't get rid of him so quickly, because he's done a nice job at Clemson, and they've had to overcome a lot this season.
3 in the corner, short, rebound Kennard, and Duke up by 5 with 50 on the clock.
See, I think Mitchell's got to take that shot. That's the guy who's got to take that shot. Number 4 in orange.
When do you foul? There you go.
You guys were talking about all the close losses for Clemson this year. One thing Brad Brownell pointed out to me is how well opponents have shot against them from the free throw line. Opponents have shot 77% from the line. That's the highest among major conference schools. And you know, in those close games, down the stretch, case in point right now, that's oftentimes where the game is decided, and opponents have shot incredibly well against them.
Well, Frank Jackson misses that one. I think the other testament to a coach is how engaged the players are end of game, even when you're losing, because at some point you go into that locker room or you go to practice and you lose by 1, you lose by 2. It keeps happening. Well, they keep coming back and getting into those games.
Yeah.
It's not as if they've lost by 10, 12 more often. They keep the close games.
Nice
Boston
pass.
game gets it down low on a good pass, and the lead is just 3.
That came off the hands of Mitchell.
Now Tatum gets fouled. To Allison's point, we just saw Jackson miss 2 free throws.
And folks, watch Sheldon Mitchell. We talk about how important it is for he and Blossom game to have the ball in their hands. Number 4 in orange, eyes always up on the push. And what a beautiful pass over the top. Perfectly placed there away from the extended arms of Jones. And Blossom game, we talked about his elite athleticism, just turns around and jams that one inside.
Duke has missed 3 of their last 5 from the stripe. Tatum 1 of 1, and he's a very good free throw shooter. Shoots 87%.
Rabbi, I expect a little full court pressure here. Gonna have to go for a trap. And again, I wouldn't foul right away if they can catch him in one of those corner areas. I'd try to tie it up. But if they don't get it in one of those areas, they're gonna have to foul right away.
Grayson Allen in, Jackson out. Reed, tough 3, nowhere near it. And how about Tatum going up in traffic and bringing it down? Why are you shooting that ball like that? 29 to go, only down 5.
Yeah, you got to get something going to the basket there, Raph.
Should Duke hang on and win this game, Coach K will tie Dean Smith with his 58th win in the ACC tournament.
Really? Wow.
Most all time.
Incredible accomplishment.
Jason Tatum with 19, Luke Kennard 20, and Frank Jackson 20.
Early push here, Rob, trying to get into the painted area, and if you can get all the way to the front of the rim, great. If not, someone should be open on the perimeter. Tough shot.
Their end of game execution has been awful, and Brad Brownell calls off the Dogs. Duke up 7, and Duke is going to win to advance.
Luke Kennard couldn't quite get it going early in the first half. It was the Jason Tatum show, and then Kennard got hot in the second. Jackson was terrific the entire balance of the game.
Coach K, 58 wins in the ACC tournament, tied most all time with the great Dean Smith. Boy, the ACC tournament starting to get real interesting.
Indeed.
Clemson out. That sets up a Louisville-Duke matchup. Miami, North Carolina. And we're waiting for the bottom half to be filled out. And now Syracuse is the 8th, the lowest seed to lose. Awfully impressive on that big stage, though, how Jason Tatum, the freshman, delivered for the Duke Blue Devils.
He was so good, and they were putting him in isolation situations. One of the best isolation players in the country, and he was terrific.
All right, Allison.
Thank you guys so much. Jason, you came out so strong in that first half. What was working for you offensively?
Just really trying to attack. You know, Clemson's a great team, and it was a close game the first time we played them. And, you know, we didn't play so well offensively the first time. And we played a little bit better today offensively. And we were just trying to attack because our shots weren't falling early.
Defensively, when I talked to Coach Capel at the half, he talked about the need to play strong defensively but clean up the fouls. What did you guys have to do better in the second half?
Yeah, just play smarter. You know, first half, they didn't shoot the ball that well, but, I think 17 of their 33 points are free throws. So that's something that was a key focus at halftime, just not foul, just keep playing defense, smart.
Jason, thank you. We'll see you tomorrow.
Thank you.
Fonzie, your first ACC tournament, you enjoying it?
Oh, man, phenomenal. Great working with you. Wow.
We had a great time here. Duke gets a victory, and the ACC tournament has 2 more games coming up tonight. The New York Life ACC tournament sees at 7 Eastern time, Wake Forest taking on Virginia Tech. That'll be the first game of our nightcap, of course, NBA over on ESPN. But the balance of Duke surviving the foul trouble, they eliminate the Clemson Tigers. Our final score one more time. The Blue Devils 79 and Clemson 72. For my man, LaFonso Ellis and Allison Williams, I'm Carl Ravitch. Thanks very much for joining us from Brooklyn. Highly questionable starts right now. All right, the day game saw Miami take care of Syracuse 62-57, and Duke beat Clemson 79-72. Let's start at the top. LaFonso Ellis, Carl Ravitch here. Miami, Kamari Murphy from Brooklyn, New York. He was one of the key figures for Jim Larrañaga from the Bronx, New York, that helped them win the game.
Well, he was terrific, and this is a kid that's really improved his 15-foot jump shot, which has expanded his game, and he was doing it in a variety of ways for the Canes earlier today. Did a great job knocking down that 15-footer. Elite athleticism, catching lobs on the backside, exposing that Syracuse defense on the back line. Kamari Murphy had himself a day, 16 and 10, double-double in his hometown.
He was outstanding, and not everybody is from New York, like Jason Tatum. He played for Duke, and man, was he as a freshman composed and carried him.
On a day where Luke Kennard couldn't quite get it going in the first half, they needed someone to step up and give them some offense. That guy was Jason Tatum. And folks, he's only a freshman, 6'8". He's got all the moves. The most offensively efficient freshman in the nation. How about that one? A little killer crossover in the twist. And you find him in a situation where he's got mismatches with guards, makes quick decisions getting to the middle of the floor. And he didn't only score, he passed as well. 4 assists in this game for Jason Tatum. He was impacting the game at every level for the Blue Devils today.
3 players with at least 20. Tatum, Kennard, Frank Jackson. And still plenty more to come from the ACC.
Tonight at the ACC tournament.
Allen gets it to go.
Collins.
That's just ridiculous.
Perez, an enormous three. Artis going all the way.
It's Virginia Tech, Wake Forest, and Virginia Pittsburgh tonight